What's up, guys? Subzeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another Set 18 VOD review from the footage that Riot sent us. This is going to be the last VOD review that I do from this footage because PvE comes out today. I am super hyped up. That should be live. Honestly, I don't want to troll people. It's usually live in the early afternoon Pacific time. And so you can kind of convert that to your time zones. Might be longer, might be shorter, depending on Riot. And, you know, if it's an easy PB deploy, there's definitely been some sets where it's like, boom, wow, they got it super early. And then some sets where it's like, oh, they ran into like a bug or something and it's taken longer. So we will see. I will definitely be live playing PB. If you want to hop into my lobbies, absolutely come check it out. You know, just follow me on Twitch, or I also stream on YouTube, so you can come check out those lobbies. But let's hop into this game. A bunch of early upgrades here. We have a 2-star Pebbles and a 2-star Rek'Sai. Pebbles is one of the Rift Beast carries, one of the 1-cost carries, an AP Rift Beast carry. Rek'Sai is just a Bruiser Eldritch frontliner, kind of very similar to this current set Rek'Sai, where it does the pop-up and it's a 1-cost, and so it's very familiar to current set Rek'Sai. But yeah, decent enough start here with these early upgrades. We see some cool stuff. We do see this new augment, the small furry friend one, which gives you a second Willump for your units to ride. If you guys haven't seen Sprykin, you basically can make your Sprykin units ride Willump, which is super cool. But we don't really have a lot of Sprykin stuff, so we're just going to roll these and take spreading roots here. Pretty good, and we do get some really good emblems here. We get a Blossom emblem here and a Blackthorn emblem. By the way, if it's confusing, a lot of people I've already, you know, who've been really locked in on the set, this Eldritch trait was called Eldritch, and they have renamed it to Blackthorn with the idea that, you know, we had an Eldritch trait in the past, so they don't really want to be super confusing, so it's called Blackthorn now. So yes, if you see anything that refers to Eldritch, it's supposed to be Blackthorn, and that is going to be the name of the trait going forward here. And the idea behind Blackthorn, if you guys haven't seen it, is that you get to sack a unit. You get that little hex in the middle of your third row, and you get to sack one unit. That unit provides stats to all your Blackthorn units, and your entire team gets HP, a flat amount of HP. At 2 Blackthorn, it's 225 HP that goes to your entire board. So it's actually a really nice amount of just HP that you get. Blossom is a very cool trait here. Oh, and also something to talk about, even before all of this that I didn't talk about so much, is the charm that we started the game off with, or the Wisp here, which is Flood. Add 2 to your win streak. So you can see we grabbed this here, started the game off with a 2 streak, won our first fight, now we're on a 3 streak, and we actually level aggressively here, 5 on 2-2, to try to protect this win streak. I think this is one of the highest potential charms in the early game. Obviously, allowing yourself to reach a 5 streak, and most importantly, a 6 streak faster, is very important. The idea is that if you can reach a 6 streak going into minions, not only are you getting, you know, the 3 gold from the 6 streak there a couple of rounds early, but you're also getting that 3 gold on minions. So this is part of the reason why they changed streak gold. They made it so you could never reach a 6 streak by minions, because there's only 5 rounds before minions. But with stuff like this, that does change your streak. If you can reach a 6 streak before minions, you're in an amazing spot here. So you're going to see the player that we are watching do everything in their power here to keep the win streak in this spot here. And Blossom is another really cool trait. This is the trait that cares about Wisps this game. You can see that we already have an early Ahri here, and Ahri is the Blossom 4-cost, the Spellweaver 4-cost, so she pairs up really nicely with Karma, who is also a Spellweaver Blossom, does that really cool like Spirit Bomb ult, which is fantastic. But Blossom is, it's one of the deepest verticals. You can see they're up all the way to 11 Blossom, and you can see all of the effects there. The templating, I think, is a little bit weird on the playtest version, but everything affects Wisps. So at 3, your Wisps are upgraded. In 5, your Wisps, you get a Wisp in every shop. At 7, you gain 5 gold after buying a Wisp. At 9, you can buy 2 Wisps per round. And then at 11, the Giga Chase trait, you get Wisps overflowing with power. And each level also gives you a decent amount of AD and AP for your Blossom champion. So 12 AD and AP is fine. You know, 30 for all 5 of your units is really nice. And then 45 here, decent enough. So kind of goes pretty linearly, the amount of AD and AP that you get there. So yeah, it's a very cool vertical that I think a lot of people, I mean, it's just fun. It's just fun to mess around with your Wisps, to get these upgraded Wisps, which can be like upgraded Econ Wisps, so maybe get a little bit extra gold, upgraded Combat Wisps, just make your board just all that much stronger. So a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this trait in general, and we are going to hope to keep our streak here with this because, I mean, we have this Ahri already. I really like the just early Gwinsu's Ahri. I don't know that this is like her BIS build or anything like that. Also, Luna, trying to play with headphones. Stop that, Luna. But it's just a really nice early aim item to get her casting. That is one of the most important things for Ahri, is just to get a cast or two off. You can see how, you know, she splashes backline a bit here. She doesn't fully splash corners. Like it's not like her ability hits the entire board. It just hits in a pretty big AoE. What is that, like a 4 hex? I mean, yeah, it must be like a 4 hex radius because it can hit backline, but it doesn't always hit, you know, the corners. The only time it is going to hit a corner, I think, is if the carry is either, or the tank is right in front of the corner or second from the corner here. And in those situations, she can actually, I believe, hit corner, which, I mean, would be pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, look at this upgraded green 3 rerolls for 2 gold. I mean, I think you'll be very, very happy with that there for just, I mean, this is a ton of gold value that you can just sit on and be very, very pleased with. You can use these to get to more charms. You can use these to, you know, hit our board later. I mean, we can honestly, hopefully just like sit on these for a long time. And here is the most important fight. Can we keep up this 6 streak going into neutrals here? Looks like a decent board, but with not too many upgrades here. So I do think we should be fine beating this board. I mean, they are level 5, but yeah, not a single upgrade on the board. They get the full pyro in. That's at least 3 pyro, right? Which should allow them to, if you guys haven't seen pyro, that's a very fun trait where your shops get kind of ignited. That's where they have a little like fire in the bottom corner. And that means that they get like a high-end shopping idea where they actually like upgrade. So if you see like, you know, for example, if this shop slot was ignited, instead of seeing that 2 cost, it would have shown a 3 cost. And this can upgrade, you know, say we see a 4 cost in our shop here, 2% odds, but hey, it could happen. Then that shop slot can get ignited and hit a 5 cost. So, I mean, you can see some, I expect today on PvE, at least one person to be like pinging a 5 cost on like stage 2 or something from some crazy setup from Pyro. So I'm very excited here. Or Inferno, sorry. It's like the Pyro, Inferno, all these type of traits. It's a little difficult sometimes. We're gonna play for Blackthorn here to upgrade our Blackthorn units even further. I would love to get to a more vertical Blossom here, and we do actually have it, but really just want to play this as our strongest combat trait. Just want our board to be as strong as possible here. 5 Blossom doesn't really give us as much combat strength, it looks like, as 4 Blackthorn does in this spot. We're also sacking the Krug, which is a nice little tech where you can sack the Krug is going to split into 2, and you are not going to feel so bad about sacking it. There's actually a couple of units. We were sacking the Yorick earlier as well, who sacked the Yorick. He just turns into the Maiden, and it's pretty good. We do get this new one here. This is a Blackthorn augment where first 3 times you sack a champ, you get a copy of one of the components they're holding. So that's pretty cool. I don't think it's like necessarily amazing in our spot here, but it's kind of cool. Give you some extra items, but a little bit slow here. We see these, but we see Earth and immediately go for it with this idea that Earth spat plus Blossom or plus Rod makes Blossom Emblem. And now we can actually look at really, really quickly getting to a vertical Blossom setup. We can get 4 Blossom in here, perhaps even 5. I'd love to see it, but looks like we're not playing it just... Yeah, we should, just be able to get it in there. Lose out on a Blackthorn, but I mean, you get 5 Blossom in here, which is really good value. Like I talked about, every single round, this means we are going to be seeing a Wisp in our shop. And once again, the 3 Blossom effects stays there. You're getting upgraded every single Wisp that you get. So really, I mean, it can be a lot of stuff. And it's also just kind of randomness, which, hey, people love in TFT. Really close fight here, by the way. Oh my god, which we just barely win. So huge fight win there for us. And yeah, reroll your shop with all 2-star 1 costs. Okay, this is starting town. This is kind of a cool one that can potentially, I mean, the thing about it is because it is upgraded, it's actually a little bit cheaper. I believe this one's normally 5 gold, but here it's only 3 gold. So it's actually you know, gold neutral. You're gonna buy a 2-star 1 cost for for 1 gold and then be able to sell it for 3. So it's like almost gold neutral, almost, and you get the upside of like, hey, maybe we saw like a Karma 2 here or something like that, and then we can throw that onto the board. So pretty nice little charm bonus that you get there. It's kind of interesting because some of the charms are cheaper. I believe some of them are also stronger. This is the only unfortunate thing about this game is it looks like on this build of the playtest that they are running, they had a pretty bad Sprykin bug here. I think the writers actually type out a little bit in chat here about how people should not be playing Sprykin because it is bugged. No clue what causes it, but hey, it's PBE. So, or it's not even PBE, it's pre-PB, PPBE. It's not public also, so probably take the P out of there. So we should call it pre-beta environment. It should be called PBE. Sorry, my cat's going crazy over there. But all that to say, I mean, bugs happen, and you know, it's fine. They'll get them worked out. I'm sure this one will probably be worked out by the time we get into PBE. A little bit sad though that we do lose our beautiful 10 streak off of just a bug, but hey, it happens. That's what alphas and betas are for, is for, you know, getting all those bugs figured out so that when we get to live, we have as few as possible. So that's the dream, at least. But we still at least have a very, very strong board here. We pick up this Hummingbird charm here, which just makes our Azir quite small, but gives him a lot of AS. Also, interesting that we opt to play towards Azir as our main carry here with the idea that we'd rather play towards a Blackthorn unit. And it's also like, he is a better holder of this Gwynsu. He is a, you know, AP attack speed carry. He's the exact type of unit you'd want to hold a Gwynsu. So yeah, we opt to actually play him over the Ahri here. And I mean, it looks pretty reasonable. 4K from Azir, 3K from Ahri. Pretty close, honestly, but I mean, Azir does a good job. Wow, really shop with all 2-star 3-cost champions, and for only 4 gold, that's amazing. I mean, once again, you still have to buy the unit itself, so it's not like you're getting like, you know, 1,000,000 gold for free. But that's a pretty decent one that could, you know, potentially, I mean, hey, maybe hit like a 0-2 or something like that. Surprised that we are not actually picking this up just immediately, but yeah, and it is going to actually go away here. I think we were taking a little while to look at our whole setup, and maybe we were just saying, we don't want to invest the gold in buying it there, though it should be gold neutral, I believe. But that also does show off the new charm effect, where if you do not, or Wisp, sorry, if I call them charms, sorry in advance to Riot Games, but if you do not buy a Wisp in a shop, it wisps away, and then you get to see the unit that was below it. So it's nice where you don't actually end up losing the actual shop slot here. But yeah, yeah, you can see we should not play Sprykin, it says, because it is a bit bugged out there, but yeah, it's all good. It happens. Also, check out these neutrals, by the way. They're weird. It's like it's Renekton is one, Cho'Gath is one. It's like those guys are all like one like kind of like skin line, I guess. I don't know, but it's interesting. But you can see this one. Your team gains 2 mana gen for 1 mana, or for 1 gold. I mean, it's a very, very nice setup here. We're also gonna get Zyra in here. Zyra is a fantastic unit. She is the Thorn Maiden, which it's almost similar to like Morgana, except she's a carry, where she can give your entire team DR. And so, yeah, she's just kind of a very, very nice, just random +1 unit. She's also a summoner, which fits nicely onto this board. As you get more summoners in, they provide, it's actually more stats for summoner units. And then I believe 3 summoner, let me go check. Yeah, 3 summoner is just more of the summoner effect here. I will also speed through this. I think the writers were, this is not a bug. This is just, they were using dev tools to kind of like extend their rounds because they were like doing a million different things. And so, you know, if they wanted to make some kind of like pivot or something like that, they use the tools. Imagine if you needed a few extra seconds in one of your games to make a quick pivot, and then you could just, you know, extend the round a little bit. How nice would that be? Well, I made the joke on stream. I will not make the joke in the video, but I'm sure people in the comments got me here. Oh, by the way, check this one out. It's me, baby. This is the Darth Noob World Championship icon. It's funny because he didn't actually win. I believe this is like a Draven one. Champion, you get a spot in the bottom right. Champion gains 15 damage amp and 15 AS and drops 1 gold every 4 takedowns. I believe this is supposed to be like in reference to Draven, which is funny because Darth Noob did not win with Draven. He won with Fast 10 Baron, but I think Riot was like, well, we already have a Baron augment. We can't have another Baron augment. And so that's why it's that. Also, for anyone wondering why it's called It's Me, Baby, it's because, you know, Darth Noob is usually the person who makes the post in the competitive TFT subreddit and says like, oh, this person, you know, congratulations to the winner of this tournament. And when he won the TAC crown, he said, "Congratulations to the winner of Tactician's crown." And then the text of the post just said, "It's me, baby," which is that's actually so sick. I actually love that, and I really love how these augments just kind of like immortalize the winners of different TAC crowns. And like I think this is actually just my favorite one for the name alone, just because the "It's me, baby" is so cool. It's just another cool little like reference in there for people to see. All right, we have reached 7 Blossom, which is nice. So now we're gonna gain 5 gold every time we buy a Wisp. That's a lot of shmoney, especially for anything like this that's only 3 gold. It's actually gold positive to buy a Wisp. Obviously, if you ever get an Econ Wisp, that's really nice. We also roll down and we find Ash, the 5 cost. We do find Lunar Lux, which is not really what we're looking for, so we do end up rolling over it. But yeah, we find the Ash here. We end up dropping out of Executioner here actually, just to fit Ash in because she's that good of a unit. And I mean, you'll see she has a really cool ability where she let me skip through this this extra added time here. I feel like I'm watching soccer again, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you see she arrows across the entire board to hit as many units as possible in a line. She also leaves a line that does max HP damage per second. You can see this unit ticking down here, and it slows every single unit that sits in the line. So a lot of just a pretty good utility unit and a pretty good carry. I think in this version, I watched one of the VODs and she looked pretty mediocre. And then I watched another VOD that I think was recorded later and she looked quite strong. So, one of those units where, hey, I mean, it's very early on. Balance is going to change. Some stuff is going to be strong, then become weak, and some stuff's going to be weak and then become strong. I mean, hey, you guys remember start of set 17 PvE when Victor Reroll was the broken comp to beat, and then that comp sucked for like the entire set? I mean, hey, at least every unit gets a little spot in the sun, usually, for the most part. But yeah, going to continue to see these charms or wisps, basically going to pick up every single one every single time. Oh, by the way, something else that I noticed while I was watching today that somebody had asked about, and then I was like, oh wow, that's actually true, is I believe they fixed one of the most annoying things and just quality of life things in TFT, and maybe we'll travel this round and so you can see it. Nope, we're not going to travel, but the enemy board travels here, is that, it used to be for every time that we've ever played TFT, if you travel to someone else's board, your units would spawn in one at a time, kind of randomly. I think some people had said before that it's like based on like the order that you field them in, all that kind of stuff. But in any case, very weirdly, and if you want to slam an item on a unit, but that unit's the last one to spawn in, then it's very annoying. That has been fixed now. And I don't want to jump the gun here, but I'm assuming that if it's fixed on the alpha playtest, it's going to be fixed on PvE when we get to play. But all the units spawn in at once, which is really cool. Also, check out that charm that we just got. That is a 5-cost duplicator that we got. Normally you have to pay, I think it's 8 HP for it, but we had to only pay, I think it was 5 HP. You can go back and fact check me if you want, but yeah, a lot cheaper HP wise, and gets you to your stuff really easily, which is fantastic. I mean, being able to just like duplicate this Ari here if we really needed to, or duplicate the set here, or even go for stuff like, I will say, some people will probably, there will be some kind of 3-star 4 cost that ends up getting, spawned in from some kind of Blossom board. I mean, I can already think of people who are like, okay, the game plan is I'm going to play Blossom and I'm going to find, but I will say, you're probably not going to be able to say I'm going to find that specific charm and play it, just because there's so many charms. There's 200 charms in the game. It's not going to be super easy, and obviously some of them are gated by stage, some of them are gated by what boards you have in. So how many are actually in the pool at any given time? I don't know, 100, maybe more, maybe less. But still, I mean, if there is 100, which would just be half the pool available at, stage 4, is it really reasonable to roll down and try to find a specific one? Not really. Lightning Storm, that's another really cool one. By the way, actually, I want to just go back and hover it here because the upgraded one is so cool. Every 1 second, deal 10% max HP true damage to an enemy. So it's just bzz, 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 bzz. It's actually like really solid. It actually looks, I think, worse than it is, because when I was watching this VOD back, I watched all these on stream, by the way. If you are hungry for more footage, I mean, you can wait till PBE comes out, but if you're watching this video like right in the morning, right before PBE has come out, if you want to see more footage, just go watch my last VOD. But either way, it's really like it kind of doesn't look like it's doing as much as it is. It's just the bzz, 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 but you can see like it's zapping this backline here and just like slowly chewing down that Veigar and then chewing down these tanks here. And if you look at the damage chart after, it's a lot of damage. Look at this, 7.5k damage just from one charm that we picked up there, and it's true damage, by the way, which is just absolute insanity. So yeah, this is really cool. This one that spawns in a temporary 3-star 1 cost, and I believe the normal version is 1 completed item sits on it, but here we actually get 2 completed items, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm really excited to play around with Blossom here, just because like just seeing every single upgraded charm is so cool. You see one of these units and you're like, oh, you know, it's kind of cool. And then you see like all of the upgraded stuff. Like you see, I mean, no spoilers, but wait until you get a little bit later in this VOD. Also, I like this other board from this other player. They were playing Tristana Reroll here, which is pretty cool. Tristana Faye Reroll. Faye is the like the sugar craft of this set, or the 8-bit of the set, where you slowly stack up extra fairies over time. So yeah, and then if you get into 4, you can get like the kind of like gold cash out type, where you stack up like golden fairies, which is really cool. So exciting. I'm jealous of you watching this video right now, especially if you're watching this video and you can just go and queue it up on PvE. But hey, maybe that future version of myself will be playing PvE as well, because I'm just really looking forward to playing this set. I mean, I enjoyed set 17, but I mean, you know, it had run its course, and this one just looks really fun. I think a lot of the new engine stuff looks cool as well. I mean, I know there will be bugs, but I think like especially even just like all the units spawning in quality of life thing seems really fantastic. You know, just knowing that, you know, you're going to be able to slam units or slam items on units. You are going to be able to do like a full board pivot, oh my god, without having to worry about, oh no, my carry didn't like spawn in at the right time, is actually going to be huge here. But yeah, continuing to chill on this board here. The Ashe stabilized us really quite nicely. We're going to level up to get Hunter in for her. By the way, this Ashe was doing a lot of damage without Hunter even in. That's her, you know, damage trait, along with Blossom, of course. So, I mean, shout out to this Ashe unit. She really, honestly, looked like a beast in this playtest game, where she's just burning through entire boards. I don't think this is necessarily her like ideal build with like Gwynsu. I think she is probably more of like a Shojin style carry, but I mean, she did a fantastic job with this setup anyway. So yeah, temporary Indomitable, by the way. I think this one might be the one that gives you a Warmogs, but if you you know, get the upgraded one, you get Indomitable. But yeah, I mean, pretty sick. And we do roll down a bit on 9, find an Ashe 2, and boom, now the Ashe is just going absolutely crazy here. I mean, just an absolute monster. Also spawning in all of this extra gold because she's getting so many takedowns by burning the entire board off of the It's Me baby. So just, I mean, a really nice setup here from this player, and you can see the entire lobby is just getting blown up here. Also, check out that top 4 animation. I don't know if I talked about it in the last VOD, but the top 4 animation looks so cool as well. So really nice. And yeah, this one's weird. The 5/7 Xerath here looks kind of wild, but I mean, he's interesting. He's an interesting guy. Is this the one, by the way? Yeah, this is the one. I'm not sure if this is intended or not, but 5/7 here gives some anvils, and it also gives these things, which are really cool. These are these ability boosters. So you can throw it onto a unit, and that unit just permanently gains some AP. This is mana gen, so you can throw this on a unit, they permanently gain some mana gen. You can stack these all in the same unit if you want. They're not like unique or anything like that. So you can see we throw all the AP ones on Ari, and then all the mana gen ones onto the Ashe here. You can even get I believe some of these from charms, which is kind of wild. You know, like especially, yeah, I think we saw one actually. I don't know if it was in the last VOD review I did on the channel, or it was one of the ones I did on stream today. But someone took an augment that gave them 3 of those. And oh, by the way, I should talk about this for sure, which is we find a Lux. We find a Lux, and this is how you reach 11 Blossom, by the way. If you're wondering, well, how do you fit 11 Blossom on level 10? It's by hitting Lux. Lux is, if you find the Blossom Lux, then that, you know, Lux is applying 2 to your trait, and so 10 units in allows you to reach 11 Blossom here with just double spat plus level 10 plus Lux, which I say just, but it's a decent amount of hoops to jump through. But it is a prismatic trait. You can see it makes your board a bit stronger, but the real juice is this, the prismatic, the super upgraded charms here. So for this one, Clone Companion, clone your highest damage champion. The clone deals 500% damage. The player here actually is they're playing for content. These riders, they know how to play for content. Rolls for some more ones. So we see this one, treetop archers. An implausible number of archers fire from the trees, which is hilarious. And by the way, remember, because we are playing a vertical blossom as well, we get to see 2 different charms. And so we also get counterspell here. Increase all enemies' max mana by 250 until their next cast. So Loki, you could beat like a 3-star 5 cost with this, because you could just mana reave them, make it so that they can't cast, and then just like kill them with some other damage charm, which is hilarious here. So you can see all of these units. Look at that tiny little mana bar. It's just taking forever to cast, and the treetop archers. Pew, 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 pew. Honestly, let's go back and watch this in just regular speed, because the treetop archers just sitting here back in the trees. You can't see them at all here. I wonder what this looks like from the enemy side, by the way. Also, I wonder what it looks like. How does it look? I guess they just come off the screen. Like, what if you're playing a board that doesn't have trees in it? Because these actually kind of look like they're coming from the trees. But either way, a really, really cool vertical blossom game here from the alpha footage, and just I'm so excited to play that. That's all I can say about this. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch for Metafy. All my links down below. I will say about my Metafy, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last one, but we are doing a super giga group session this week in my TAC University group. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's going to be a 2-hour-long session covering all PBE. We're going to talk about some of the comps that exist, some of my early takes on units and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be a ton of fun. Going to be really, really educational, and especially for people who are, really want to grind it out and get their ticket to the Vegas Open. I mean, start with your what do they say? Or running start pedal to the metal. There's some other phrase I'm looking for. You guys can tell me in the comments. But no, it's not a running start. Start with your foot, put your best foot forward. I figured it out, I think. Where, if you grind it out on PB, you're gonna have a huge advantage when it comes to live. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks once again for watching. As always, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.